Andy Ruiz versus Luis King Kong Ortiz is a heavyweight matchup that boxing needs. It's the type of fight where you take two veteran heavyweights who have been world challenging fighters for the titles face one another for the right to have at it again. This Sunday, live on Fox pay-per-view, they will face off against each other, and we'll see who gets the right to go at it for the title shot again. The wonderful thing about the upcoming battle between Andy Ruiz and Luis King Kong Ortiz is the quality and caliber of fighter that is going to face off during this matchup. These are two veterans who happen to bring a wealth of experience into the ring, as well as the ability to attack an opponent and seize opportunity by the throat. Both men have exhibited those qualities recently in their careers. Andy becoming the first heavyweight champion from Mexican descent, and Luis King Kong Ortiz with two title challenges against Deontay Wilder when the rest of the division would not give him a shot to prove his wares. Andy Ruiz Jr. is the type of fighter that when you look at him, people think body shaming. But Andy is not really a small man. He's 6'2", and in the heavyweight division has some of the fastest hands that a heavyweight has seen in recent years in memory. He was able to defeat Anthony Joshua with that hand speed, and with his record now 34-2 with 22 KOs, is primed for another opportunity to see exactly what he can do in the division. Andy is also the type of fighter who has a happy-go-lucky attitude, but he has killer instinct in the ring. Evander Holyfield stated once, "He's the type of fighter that made me realize it's time for me to get out of the sport. I couldn't keep him off of me when they were sparring in the gym." Andy is just that type of fighter. He's going to bring it each and every time that he has the opportunity. The track record speaks for itself with Andy, with fights over the likes of Sergey Lakhayevich, Ray Austin, Joseph Parker, Kevin Johnson, Alexander Dmitrichenko, and Anthony Joshua, along with Chris Arreola, prepares him for the veteran experience of King Kong. King Kong Ortiz, on the other hand, is a different sort. The Cuban fighter who has been held outside of the division top rankings due to his skill set and due to the fact that he has an amateur background that is respectable. His record now of 33-2 with 28 KOs resonates because King Kong, a vaunted southpaw in the heavyweight division, is a man who can box with the best. At 6'4", possessing a 78-inch reach, Ruiz presents a formidable picture. He's actually the prototype size of the heavyweights of the bygone era, the Ali, Foreman, Larry Holmes era. Those men were 6'3", 6'4", and he possesses similar dimensions and the same type of veteran skill set and mental approach to the sport. This, more than a number of other reasons, is probably why he's been avoided. The fact that King Kong goes all the way back to the era of fighters that campaigned during the Klitschko run, it shows that even Vladimir Vitaly stayed away from Ruiz. It was his boxing skill, people, and the fact that he's a southpaw. He presents a different picture, with victories over the likes of Alex Gonzalez, Monty Barrett, Tony Thompson, Brian Jennings, Malik Scott. He has shown that he has what it takes. Now, the thing about being able to get in there with Deontay Wilder, Wilder didn't have to fight King Kong, but he recognized the seriousness of a challenge of Ortiz, what a victory could mean, and also being a giver. He gave the man an opportunity, which is what true champions do. The Joshua camp signed King Kong to their promotional group just to put him on the shelf so Joshua would not have to fight him. Boxing politics at its worst. But this is not about the politics. This is about the strategies of the two men. The contrast of their styles may be very fitting due to the fact that Andy Ruiz, who is a boxer slugger, believe it or not, with the hand speed that he possesses, he's not afraid to mix it up. King Kong Ortiz is a boxer puncher who's definitely not afraid to mix it up. He will go to the body, he will keep you on the end of his jab, he will set up power punches, various types of uppercuts and straight crosses where he really intends to inflict damage on his opponent. It's going to be interesting because I say if Andy cannot show a little more footwork, he's going to have a difficult time against King Kong, who can pursue you and walk you down. But King Kong can also get on his toes and move a little bit, which is something that a lot of people don't realize when they get in the ring with him. When he was in against Prince Charles Martin, Martin was able to get to King Kong due to his size, I believe, more than anything. But King Kong was still able to land a shot that was so pummeling that it made Charles look out into the audience as if he was trying to search for someone. He didn't know where he was. This is something that should concern the camp of Ruiz. He's going to have to be unavailable for receipts. He's going to have to try to get off with his hand speed, give angles. But as we saw against Chris Arreola, he got in there and got in trouble where Arreola had him down early. If King Kong puts him down, King Kong will finish him. A tremendous finisher King Kong Ortiz is. He's not the kind of guy that plays with his food. The other thing about Andy is really a true Mexican in spirit. He will fight till the end. He is not gonna go away easy, and he is not gonna give it up easy. But this is a case of where I think that one fighter is just a bit better than the other, even though he may be older than the other. They haven't listed Andy Ruiz's age, but King Kong has been listed as being around 40 years old. I think he's on the south side of 40, but he's always maintained and kept himself in tremendous shape and gives about as good as he gets out there. His fight against Wilder may have taken something out of him, because you do not go through a fight, let alone two, with a man who punches like Deontay Wilder and having been stopped by him twice. It really remains to be seen how much more that Ruiz may have in the tank. But against a fighter like Andy, who doesn't have bludgeoning power, I don't think he has to worry about that. He only has to worry about keeping up with the scores and the points. But I don't think that King Kong is looking for a points victory here. He's looking to stop Andy, and it very well could happen. What do you think? How do you see this fight playing out? I believe it's going to be a very good heavyweight match, one that we should really tune in to see. And Luis King Kong Ortiz deserves every opportunity that he can get to show his wares. This man has been kept off of the scene on purpose because of how good he is and because of where he's from. This man is to be respected, just as Andy Ruiz needs to be respected for being the first former heavyweight champion of Mexican descent. Tune in this Sunday, September 4th, and see exactly what happens when King Kong Ortiz and Andy Ruiz Jr. face off against one another. I think that King Kong will prevail with a late round stoppage, maybe around the 8th or 9th round, and will be once again ready for a title shot. Leave comments, let me know what you think, and who do you have when it comes down to this heavyweight scrap. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know who you got. Until the next time we meet, peace to everyone out there, and everyone out there, please remain safe.